And I told her this girl was kissing on me.
Yeah, you did.
She
You
was
dream.
she was kissing on me.
And you're going, no, no.
Listen, Missy. You might be a good kisser. We're not doing that.
That's funny.
And guess who it turned out to be?
Welcome, you guys, for another Feel It Real Fun for you on the 11th of March, 2022.
That is what we call the rightness, everyone said.
You're
it shall
weird.
prevail.
Weird. Manifesting questions answered live.
You know, we just had to do it that way. Wait till you
Are they actually weird?
I think so.
Is your dream in here?
No, well, it is now. It's part of the permanent record.
Is it?
Yo, Olive, Triple D, Lisa, Luke.
Hello.
I am your father, Luke. Robin. All these Triple D and Look at that. Triple D, Dockery. You guys.
Dark Mockery, Faith, hello.
All right, so I'm going to try not to swear because we're going to do an intro we're going to answer a few questions about Triple D in just a moment.
Right.
So I'll swear later, though, I promise. I'll hold it in like a sailor with Tourette's. We'll pull into port and then it all just, doesn't it, guys?
So go to freeneville.com.
221 email list pseudo.
Random goodness. Join our 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
That's right, everyone said.
I always take a breath there. That's funny.
Yeah.
Manifestingmasterycourse.com.
.com.
I always do it like that instead of just manifestingmasterycourse.com.
That's right.
Anyway.
I don't understand. You must have an issue about
.coms
or something. Triple D, Tony Doyle. Hey, I just made another video. Yo. It's been a fucking bugger. See, I told myself I wouldn't swear. I did.
And you're talking about Triple D?
Not yet.
Okay.
All right. Tony Doyle made a video. Uploading it today.
And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
All right. So, Victoria. We're going to start out answering some quick questions for Triple D. Valerie, Triple D times 3. That's right. Luke, MM. I love you guys are sharing where you're from and how you know us. Because the next round of Triple D opens up, that's right, dreamdrivenday.com, Tony. Opens up in 7 days from today. Technically, could be 7.5 days, right? Who's counting?
I noticed Valerie said Victoria, and I realised there's Valerie, Victoria, and then the name I was called until Grandma said no.
Yeah, they changed her
Veronica.
name too. Yeah.
And actually, I really like Veronica, but Grandma, after a few months, said no, she'll get Ronnie.
Yep.
I like Ronnie. But anyway. They didn't ask me. So,
all right, so we're going to start with Triple D. We're going to just start with these are the common questions we get about Triple D. So this will be one of those times where we actually pull a little video out. Like maybe we'll just have
the common questions for Triple D. And I've never done it.
Well, we've never done this. So
never done this.
We've never done this.
It's different.
All right, Triple D Carolyn, Triple D Angela. Boom.
And different is better than better. So the first one's this, is it?
Yeah, these are the questions people were asking me. So I figured I'd just make a video because I am effective.
So the first one. Anonymous asked about Triple D questions.
Yep.
That's Dream Driven Day questions.
That's right.
First question. Do I need to have done manifestingmasterycourse.com? There, I didn't breathe before that.
That was really good.
Before doing Dream Driven Day.
No, you don't. All right. By the way, they say in sales, never give no answers, right? No, you don't. Right. Here's the cool thing, though. If you did it, cool. If you didn't, cool. Because there's only one lesson that I really feel that everyone needs to do from Dream Driven Day before doing.
No, from Manifesting Mastery.
That's right.
The girls giggled.
And that's the girls giggled. But I post that now up in the group anyway. So it's like, all right, So, no. If you haven't done manifestingmasterycourse.com and you feel like it's time to do Triple D.
Drawn to DDD.
That's right.
The DDDs.
Remember, Neville said, when you feel desire, that's when you move into its assumption. From what I can tell, when you move into its assumption, everything that needs to move starts moving, including you, right? And he also goes on to say, perhaps there's a reason at this time while you're doing that. Joe Weldon and I had a great chat about this the other day, because really, timing is everything. If you feel like sitting still, you sit still. If you feel moved, move. If you feel stretched, stretch. So, good morning, Rachel Eldred. Rachel.
Good morning, Rachel.
Eldred. All right.
Okay. Well, actually, and I have noticed a lot of we have had a lot of DDDers
Yeah, that haven't done
do
MM
or do MM
at the same time.
concurrently.
Yeah, that's also
and
good.
then they say the parallels between and what it exposes you to. So
Absolutely.
if you're doing DDD and you've already done MM, redo MM while you're doing
it.
DDD
Yeah, why not? What's something to
because
do?
it's fascinating. You know, more insight into
By the
each.
way, I believe Lisa LaRock didn't do MM before she did Triple D, and we had a great time and did a live thingy do that was fabulous.
Conversation.
Yes, so you can find that at feelitrealfun.com.
Sounds like Landmark's conversation.
Right.
Yes.
We are standing still. So
Yes. Okay. Second question. What if I don't like it? Can I get my money back?
no. Right? Now here's the thing. Illegally, yeah, okay, you want your money back, all that stuff, Visa, MasterCard regulations, all that bullshit. Here's the thing, right? You don't get your day back. Right? Lisa says, I jumped in and did DDD without any of their courses first. That's right.
Yeah.
I remember, I went, who the hell is this? Right? It's like, ooh,
A new
a
one.
newbie, a brand newbie going right
to
in.
play with.
A newbie
It's a
going
new playmate.
nuclear. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
fun for me, right?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. If you're already thinking, doesn't have a money back guarantee in case I don't like what you're telling me to do, you're not going to fucking do it anyway. So don't. Right? If you want a money back guarantee, get the anxiety pack or the $7 revision pack or do manifestingmasterycourse.com.
Yeah.
We say
Yeah.
you got 60 days. Right? If you don't like manifestingmasterycourse.com in the first 60 days, ask me. I'll give you your money back. I'll tell you to go the fuck away. I'm happy with that.
And we'll block you.
And we'll block you, right? But here's the thing: if you sign up for Triple D, you're taking a seat,
Yes.
right? It's a community.
There are only 30 seats.
Yeah, we
No
only
more.
do 30. So it's like if you do 5 days, it's like, well, I don't like the way you look bald.
Yeah.
No, it's like radio. Like
Yeah, because he's got hairs now.
Yeah, I got hairs now.
Handsome hairs.
Oh, look at
apparently.
that. So, but let us continue. So,
Okay.
first answer was no. Second answer is no.
No.
Let's see how we're going. Isn't this weird? Right?
So the
Boom.
third question is, you can't. This isn't a yes or no answer.
Watch me.
Third question: how much time does it take?
None.
None.
Because we all have 24 hours a day. And the whole thing is when you start using math against time, you always lose. Right? How much time does it
How
take?
can you say none? Because it takes me time to read the email, even if I do nothing. The lesson.
How much life does it give you? It's the wrong fucking question.
I
right?
totally get that.
Right?
Yes.
So get it? Now, here's the cool thing. When people are having dread-driven days, they ask dread-driven questions. How much time am I going to waste?
How much money is it going to
Well, how much money is it going to cost me? Right? You're
Let me check what you're like
asking,
on
you're asking,
Reddit.
you're asking the wrong question. Whenever you realize I'm smarter than 50% of the people on the planet, that's not good. Right? Right?
Yeah.
Say, I'm smarter than 50% of them. Wrong question. Anyway, let's continue. So it takes no time. It will give you life. That's the big key, right? And will it take time? Yeah, most people tell me it takes some time. You got to watch a video, listen to something. You can read along if you want to. You can watch another little video where I sort of do a funny little recap.
Transcribing, so it's not 100% accurate, but it's very, very close.
It's enhanced.
Enhanced. It's trying to make sense.
That's right.
Of 20s language.
That's right.
The next one, well, it is a yes, no. Do I have to get on Facebook?
By gunpoint. Right? I promise you, I'll move into your house, I'll sit behind you, I'll say, get on Facebook. No, you don't. We've had people, I'm not going to name last names, Anthony, took it. I don't think he showed up once on Facebook the first time, and he built a 6-figure business. Then he signed up and took it again and brought his business buddy in with him, right?
Well, this is his brother-in-law.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay vague.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Anthony.
But here's the cool thing,
Yes.
right? Whenever you get, life is 100% optional. Actually, what you give life to is 100% optional. You are life, right? If you want to join and you don't want to get on Facebook, don't bother. Don't bother me. We had a lovely lady who I just heard from. She showed up for 2 out of the 3 calls. Didn't do much on Facebook at all. Or no, she wasn't on Facebook at all. And she sends me this email saying, hey, I disappeared. I'm back. I had a great Triple D. It totally changed my life, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, good, because I was wondering what happened to you. See, that to me makes my day.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of people do like the live calls, and we record them. A lot of people do like the Facebook group because it's nice to have some fellowship. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a big fan of it.
Oxytocin.
Yep. Stay at home. Lock the fucking door.
And, sorry, that was a continuation of Do I have to get on Facebook? I'm not a real person.
No, I'm not.
I'm not a people person.
I'm not a
I saw
people
real.
person.
That's weird.
Yeah,
That's
given
you
our
said it
pre-show,
this morning
given our pre-show
at the
conversation,
dog park. Okay.
right? So, I'm
All
not a people
right.
person. Guess what? The closest thing to you is another human being.
If you think
Right.
that, you're like me. I don't. Yeah.
By the way,
I don't know what I am.
I take people in small chunks. I schedule them, right? I make them go away. I love them, right? But I tell them, look, I'm going to take a fucking nap. Oh, I swore. I try. It's like, yeah, you don't have to go home, but you can't come inside. Right? You got to use the toilet. You use it now.
Or he's the spade.
Yeah. In other words, yeah. Here's the shovel
Dig
and a
you a
roll,
hole.
right? Dig you a hole.
Yeah.
All right. So sorry for the swearing. I tried not to. I don't think I swear during Driven Day. Anybody know? Shockingly enough. Okay, so let's get into today's weird questions.
Okay.
Monica's here. Hoo-ha.
All right.
All right.
Oh, good. I'm glad Monica's here. So the first question, is this the same Monica?
This is the same Monica.
She might not want anyone to know.
Maybe
but
it's not
sorry.
the same Monica. It's a Monica.
Hey, Monica. Oh, Monica Lewinsky.
Hold on.
Is this from Monica Lewinsky?
Triple D, Tony says, participating in the Facebook group is my favorite part of DDD. Made all the difference. Ooh.
Yeah.
Tony and the Doyle.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. You never swear in DDD.
Angela, thank you.
Thank
Somebody paid attention. That's great.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, she keeps track of me. She's got a little fucking whiteboard with a lot of little white marks or little black marks on it.
And emojis.
Yeah. How many times did he
Loves
swear?
Emojis.
Yeah, he swore a lot.
Okay.
All right.
The first question is from Monica in Manifesting Mastery. Manifesting success and profits in business. Monica asks, oh, geez, I have a few. Well, first, I'm struggling. I know, a bad word. To find the state of success and profits in my business. I keep reverting back to fear of not making any money and not being sure what to do. And of course, that's where I'm getting. How do I move?
You know, when I first started wearing pantyhose, it felt a little weird. Okay.
I like it. No. Yeah.
Right. It really did because so I had my little Honda CB360 and
Oh, yes, for the cold.
yeah, and it
You
got
were
cold
wearing
in
it.
Pennsylvania, right? And so I'd put on my pantyhose, my long johns, my uniform pants. On top of the uniform pants, I'd put on sweatpants and a rubber rain suit, right?
Oh, wow.
I swear to God, I had no fear of driving on ice because I know if I smashed into something, I had like 14 inches of shit around me, right? So I'm just going to be looking like a big yellow fucking ball going down the street. So, but it felt weird at first putting on pantyhose all over, you know what I mean? Right? So, but after a while, it just felt natural. You put on your pantyhose, you put on your gun belt, you go to fucking work.
Yeah.
So,
And that's it.
and that's it. So the thing is, if you're used to cortisol feels natural, right? Wake up, oh, what's going to kill me today, right? We just had a talk about that. So cortisol is a state, and let's just drop the word fear for fun, right? We'll just call cortisol a state. Your fear of what? Rejection, betrayal, all those things, living under a bridge, being lonely. But we're going to continue to answer this one as we continue to answer this one through the other ones.
Okay.
So the first thing is just to remember when you're switching states, I mean, was it smart for me to wear pantyhose, long johns, uniform trousers, sweatpants, and a yellow suit over top? You betcha, right? It was very smart. The only problem is you can't produce your weapon from underneath all that stuff, and when people are trying to run you off the road when you're on a motorcycle in the middle of winter. But that's another story. Let us continue. We will get back to it, Monica. I promise you.
Okay. Oh, so, thank you, Monica. But you've also got the second question.
How cool is that? Isn't it weird having two questions by the same
That's
person
why you
in a
called
row?
it weird.
Oh, no. We'll get to it, though.
Okay.
Boom.
The second question's from Monica in Manifesting Mastery.
I just burped.
Relationshit problems. So Monica says, I dropped the whole special person thing and came across an amazing guy, exactly what I wanted.
Oh, Victoria.
But my own
amazing
fears, one creeping back in, and all the exes are showing up. Besides blocking them, how can I focus on the state of loving, happy wife so that I can remain present with this new guy?
You know, one of the things that I noticed was when, like, Victoria and I would go out to eat, like 2 years ago before the loogie, because we're not allowed out anymore, right? We're one of the great unwashed.
Yeah.
So back when we used to go out to eat, there were these things called menus, and menus had options on them. And here's the thing. If you want item number 7, you order item number 7. Right? Speed is really important. One of the things that I find happens when people get all like lost in slow cortisol, fear, like even if an option's not an option, it's like all these items on the menu. If you know, my friend Lance, Forex trader, right? He's the FX guru. When Lance and I would go out for dinner, no matter where we'd go, he wouldn't look at the menu. He'd look at the waitress. Right?
Well, he was single. Yeah.
Right. Well, no, this is even when he was with them. Right?
Oh, right.
Look at the waitress and say, and I forget what type of steak it was because we call them different things here, but let's pretend it's a T-bone. And he would ask, can I get a T-bone steak here? And the girl would say, oh, you want to hear about the specials? And he'd say, no, just, could you find out, can I have a T-bone steak?
And he always wanted the grass-fed, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he was picky,
one.
right?
Yeah.
But it's like, here's a guy that makes money by going in and out of 7-minute trades. Makes a lot of money. He's not going to waste his time getting caught on the menu, caught on the distractions, right? So, and I swear to God, it was great. We went to a seafood joint in the Adelaide the one time.
Yeah.
And the waitress comes out and she goes, have you had a chance to look at the menu? So he's like, no, but I got a question for you.
Do you have steak at a seafood restaurant?
Yeah. And she goes, well, you're usually done. He goes, could you by any chance see if we could? Right?
Unless they do a surf and turf.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. You know, and that's the fun part of it. Yeah. So, how do you do it besides blocking them? Just speed up with the chosen fella. Speed up with, if you want a happy loving husband, happy loving, I embody happy loving husband because I got a Willie. Hashtag Willie.
Except in his dreams. But that's all right.
That was another one, right? The old pantyhose in my uniform.
Yeah.
Anyway, so by the way, it's one of those cool things because almost nobody orders like that. Lance does. I usually order item number 7. Some of you guys know why, but
the problem with item number 7 is often,
sometimes
when you go to a restaurant,
once in a while,
I'll say often. 7's very early on in the list, so it's often an entree, like a starter.
Yeah. Well, then you can do
so
multiple.
then you're not. It's like you're still hungry.
Go to page 3, item
so
number 7.
Do you go number 14?
Yeah, 7,
and
14,
then number
21. Right, exactly.
Okay, all right.
But we'll continue to answer your question as we continue to answer your question and the other questions too.
Good one. Excellent, Monica.
By the way, isn't it weird how it happens? Because as soon as you drop something, a new layer of the onion shows up, right? A lot of people think, if I'm positive, it all works out, and I have unicorn farts and I can levitate. You know what? Here's the cool thing, right? In Triple D, Crass Commercial starts in 7 days. Don't dick around if you want to have some really massive changes. Notice how people like Mark Darkery and Tony Doyle post things. Grant Monk, all these other kids. Ego. Ego's just Ego. She is a wild child, right?
A wild child.
She used to be mildly frustrated. Now she's wildly alive, right? But here... Yeah, but here's the thing. Speed. And Lisa, thank you for getting me back on target. Layer after layer. We talk about speed bumps in Triple D. We explore them in a way that helps because a speed bump is not a fatality. Right? How many speed bumps can you hit in a day?
Loads.
Yeah, she's great at them, right? She just smashes them. So, but let us continue.
Okay, cool, excellent.
How fast can you surrender to happy, loving wife? Or your chosen kind of state like that?
Thanks, Monica.
All right. The
next question's from Olivier in Manifesting Mastery.
Another weird one.
Making things believable.
Another weird one.
So Olivier asks, how to make things more believable or obvious, meaning getting to the point of knowing. I can do this very well for others. I manifested a job for another cousin. Yesterday I manifested some lost keys appearing for a guy. But for myself, be it a new cell phone, money, or even attending parties, just doesn't seem real. I'm trying to get to the same certainty in those previous situations, but I don't.
Coolio. Stop trying to get to certainty. I'm always into curious. How else could I explore it? Like, for example, it was always easy for me to imagine pretty girls wearing pantyhose, right? I just like, damn. I mean, like, she's got these killer legs, right?
Yeah.
And I can imagine them in pantyhose like that, right? It's just natural for me, right? Look at a hot girl, pantyhose, right? It's part of the loco de la cabeza, right?
Yes.
On the other hand, when I started wearing pantyhose, it's like these feel a little funny. right?
Yeah.
New states are always going to feel funny, right? Molly, welcome to the show. So, what was the name of the Molly in the video?
Bloom. Molly Bloom.
Molly Bloom. You got to watch that video. It was good.
It was a movie, I think.
Yeah, it was a movie that we watched. Yes. It was a video movie that we watched even, right?
Yeah.
So what the hell was I talking about? Oh, yeah, Olive. I was talking about Olive.
Yeah.
So here's the cool thing. A new state may feel weird, right? They tend to, right? You put on a new pair of pantyhose, just
And
feels
so then it won't feel real if it
feels a little weird.
Yeah, got you.
Get okay with weird, right? Because so there's this guy crossing the bridge today. Victoria's got both dogs. I'm motoring along. Cube's like talking about something. I don't know what he's talking about. And this guy comes across the bridge, and I said, you look like the son of Monty Don. And he stops and he looks at me. He goes, "The son of Monty Don." I said, "Yeah, you look like you'd be the son of Monty Don." He goes, "Who's Monty Don?" I says, "Oh my God." So I told him Monty Don is this lovely guy. He does gardening shows, all this stuff. And he goes, "Really?" He goes, "I don't know who he is, but I bet my wife would know." And I says, "Cool, my wife loves him." So it's like, great, have a great day, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Now, as shy as I used to be, that would have felt really weird and awkward, basically just telling a guy, "Hey, you look like this gorgeous guy. You look like you could be his son." Can't help but compliment him. A guy's coming toward me, a girl's coming toward me, an old person, young person, a dog. I toss out compliments freely, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't always that way, but it's a lot of fun. And here's the cool thing. As you stretch, stretching feels a little weird. It feels a little weird when you stretch. Get okay with weird. The second thing is if you're notice what you're imagining. Are you imagining a wish or what implies the wish? I am such a massive fan. Let's unveil it today, shall we? We're unveiling the head hits the bed method. Type it in. Let's make it a part of history. When your head hits the bed. Right? When your head hits the bed. Because your head hits the bed every night, you know what that feels like. That doesn't feel weird. If it does, like, where do you normally sleep?
Yeah.
It just
Where
doesn't.
does your head normally?
Yeah, where does your head normally end up? Pantyhose.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, toilets.
Yeah, that's weird, man.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: when your head hits the bed method, head hits the bed, head hits the bed method, right? So if you, found your phone, how would you fall asleep at night? Head hits the bed, feeling happy I found my phone. If you lost your phone, right, your favorite phone, the phone that you choose.
I lost it.
Yep,
Oh no.
yep, gonna get me a new one. Head hits the bed.
Oh, I knew
If you went to the party and you got home, you're finally home after we got a wedding on Saturday, right? I'm not anti-wedding.
My nephew.
I'm pro getting home. You got it. We'll have a lovely time, but I'm pro getting home. I want to see my dogs.
Especially when we
I
open
want to
the
hit
door
the bed.
and the dogs go ballistic.
Dogs go nuts,
It's just
right?
gorgeous. Yeah.
I'm not anti-wedding. I'm very pro going home. Or I'm sorry, getting home, taking a nap, going to bed, right? So all I got to do to imagine that the wedding went great, I'm not going to imagine, gee, Victoria, the wedding went great. Yes, it did. And that just doesn't feel right to me. That feels really weird. But when we come home and our heads hit the beds, good night, Victoria. Good night, 20. You know, nobody knew that I was wearing pantyhose. No, they didn't, 20.
Under your shorts.
That's right, under my shorts. Yo, what happened to 20's legs hairs?
Yeah.
Anyway, let us continue. So you could use imagining your head hits the bed. Find that thing that you have anyway and allow yourself to experience that thing that you have anyway. This is the streetcar method, the head hits the bed method, right? Woman.
Very good.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think that's ace. I really like that. Get comfortable with weird. So, yeah, I think that's going to be my strawberry bit if I remember by the time I get to the end of the questions.
Let's see if I can screw her up enough that she forgets it.
Yeah, probably. Thank you, Oliver, for your question.
See, here's me using it in action, right? So if I want her to forget that's her strawberry bit, I'm imagining my head hitting the bed tonight. Oh, it was good. Just watched something good. It's really cool. I'm really tired. Looking forward to getting home from the wedding tomorrow. Trying to fall asleep in that. 20! What? I remember my strawberry bit. It's bedtime for Victoria. 20! What? What? Will you let me sleep? When your head hits the bed, who's yelling your name? All right. Lorna, welcome to the show. By the way, Triple D, the days open, or the doors close in 7 days from right now. Right now, when we're doing this.
When we're doing this.
We're doing this. Whenever you're watching this, if you're watching it later, go to dreamdrivenday.com and check out the countdown.
Another one that's just in time, Zuzanna.
Zuzanna.
Wait, right up to your question. Oh, sorry.
Whoa. Well, maybe she doesn't want us to know that it's her.
Well, it's a bit hard if you put your name Zuzanna.
That's true.
So,
all right.
Anyway, thank you, Oliver, for your question. The next question's from Zuzanna. Manifesting
Jess is
Mastery.
here. Yo, Jess. Boom, in the room.
Manifesting feels fake. Oh, this is interesting.
See, notice the theme, right?
Yeah,
notice the theme.
Yeah, after Oliver's. So Zuzanna says, how do you know? Oh, in fact, sorry, Zuzanna, make sure you re-listen to this.
Oh, you got to listen to
just
the whole
before
thing.
you, Oliver.
Right?
Well, yeah, the whole thing. But Oliver's question, very similar. So there's going to be like goody bits all the way through.
It was weird.
It was. Okay. Susanna asks, how do you unknow things? I thought about imagining something different. I think that's the way to do it, right? But some things seem so uncertain to me that whatever I'm trying to imagine instead feels just fake. Like holding a blue pen and saying it's red. I already managed some things by not going for imagining the opposite, but there are still things that seem just so much like an unmovable fact. Like I can't find a substitute for them.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? That whole thing of like trying on something different. It was weird. I carried a gun for 20 years. I'm not lying, right? For 20 years plus. I pretty much, except for a few brief periods of time, had not usually one, but 2 handguns on me at all times or close by, right? I'm very proficient with a few very select firearms, right? And so I moved to a country without guns.
Yeah, we don't really have them here.
Yeah, we don't. You know, like it's very rare to come across.
We live on a farm, maybe.
Yeah, but it's very, very, very rare, right? And so that felt a little weird at first, right? What's weird, see, I come from a country, I come from a background and environment where 1 in 4 people was armed, right? So I could walk down the street and spot people that are armed. You know, the cufflinks of the pants aren't right. There's a little bulge. They're wearing their clothing a little goofy, right? I could spot guns all day long. Not hard at all. I realized at one point I was here for 4 years and I saw one person with a concealed weapon, right? And it's like, right. So, but yeah,
And it was a cop.
And it was a cop, right? Yeah, yeah. So and cops don't even carry them off duty for the most part. So this was a special situation here, right? And I mention that because that whole thing of like weirdness, when you shift from one thing to another, there's that little bit of a weird bit. And so when people tell me it feels fake, of course it does, right? The thing is, find something that feels real and we'll run with it, like the head on the bed method. Right? And it's also that thing of like, I just did a podcast the other day and when I talked again about the coffee game, right? Every morning I drink coffee, right? Now, whenever I traded time for money, whenever I sat in traffic, right? Whenever I had a boss, right?
Just wondering what you were
Boss,
saying.
right?
Yeah.
I drank coffee. The thing is, I'm usually drinking coffee. It's a little bitter and cold, looking at a man who's bitter and cold after sitting in a seat, sitting in traffic.
Yeah.
Versus like I'm in the hot tub doing the podcast, listening to traffic. Hoo-ha.
In his own voice.
Yeah, I'm listening to my own voice. So yeah,
Things he loves.
Hoo-ha.
Yeah.
So there's the difference right there. Dr. Brian, Triple D, doctor of verbs, adverbs, adjectives, and participles.
Participles.
That's right. I want me a dangling participle. So here's the cool thing. Get okay with weird. Find something that naturally feels good and use that to imply. Right? That whole coffee thing. When I imagine drinking a coffee as a indicator of success, I had coffee with Chris Nelson the other morning for a few moments, right? And so that's cool. If I was working at JOB, I couldn't do that. I'd be in traffic saying, Chris, I'm in traffic. Catch me on the weekend if we have 10 minutes, right? Instead, it's like, yeah, let me reconfigure a couple things and boom, boom, right? There's the fun thing. So take her from the top. Let's keep going. What's the next weird question?
Okay, so that was for Zuzanna. Thanks loads for your question.
Some people say he never gets to the point. He always gets to the invitation, and you have to like scan through it all, right?
Sometimes it's worth that second listen.
It's always worth the second listen, right?
Yeah, stuff.
That's right.
The next question's from Andrew on Facebook. Eliminating writer's block. Andrew says, "Hey everyone, I was wondering if anyone here is a writer. I've been trying to write a book for years, and I do enjoy writing, but I feel like I have to sort of force myself to think of ideas. I'd much rather prefer it if the ideas came to me easily and effortlessly."
So it easily and effortless. You can easily and effortlessly have the idea, they have the experience of force, right? So it's easy and effortless for you to feel forceful about getting ideas.
Yeah.
Right. Just getting clear.
If you wrote a dictionary.
Yeah. Well, people that procrastinate never putting off procrastination. You know what I mean? Right.
Never put off.
Yeah. I just don't get around to procrastinating.
Yep. Okay. Andrew goes on, "I've heard stories of people getting an entire book downloaded into their brain, so to speak, and they'd write some big epic story in a matter of weeks. I'd love to have this happen to me. How can I make that happen?"
So you're defining a middle. Here's what I want. I want to download a fucking book and write it, right? That may or may not happen. Don't care. Here's the thing. You know what a writer does? Anyone?
He writes, doesn't he?
Whoa!
Yeah.
So we got this woman coming today, right?
Yes.
She's like Mr. Kaplan.
Allison.
Yeah.
Yes.
She really is. Mr. Kaplan was short and little. Anyway, right? Yeah. So what's a cleaner do?
What is what?
A cleaner do.
She cleans.
Right?
Well, we hope she does.
Yeah, we hope she does. Right? Let's see how that goes.
Yes.
Anyway, so here's what I'd do, right? Let's do that head on the bed method again. Whoa, boom, right? It's the hashtag head on the bed. You imagine up having had a great day writing. How do you do that? You go to bed at night, hoo-ha, right? I go to bed at night satisfied, right? I also, while falling asleep or waking up, I feel anticipation for another great day ahead, right? Now here's the cool thing. Ready? Writer's block is like grammar. It's a relatively recent invention.
They probably don't have that ad over
there. We have the grammar ad.
He's weird.
And it's got this Asian fella, and he's like, "I write grammar. Grammar are so good." I'm not being racist or anything. I'm just, it's the ad.
Like that,
it's the ad. And it's like that's just funny, right? Anyway, I think it's funny. But writer's block is a relatively recent invention, right? You look at the old classic writers, they used pens, pencils, eventually typewriters, and they wrote like 10, 20, 30 novels, right? The other day, so I get up and I'm writing some stuff for a dream-driven day. The doors close in 7 days, right? The program starts in 7 days, so get in now, right? So I decided I'm going to do me some writing, right? So I've sent out 2 new pieces of writing about Dream-Driven Day, gotten a lot of good compliments, gotten some registrations out of them, right? Now here's the cool thing. I woke up and I was going to put them on little Post-it notes, and so I could move the Post-it notes around, right? So I got up. So I already figured out my middle, Post-it notes, different colors, ink pen. I went through 4 fucking ink pens before I lost my fucking mind, right?
Because they wouldn't write.
They wouldn't. They'd start and it'd stop. And I'm fast. I mean, I have an idea, right? Yeah, I put them out, and I'm like, motherfucker, right? Get that, and now it doesn't look right, right? And so like that lasts like a whole 4 minutes. Right? 4 minutes. I don't do anything for more than 4 minutes. That you see my eyes? You see these show up? You know the countdown has started, right? 7 days.
Abandoned ship.
Yeah. And so I just chucked it and I said, how do I want to do this? I type fast. And so I just started opening up docos. Boom, 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 boom. Right? That's fun. Right? Speed. If you want to get okay with this stuff, get okay with weird, get okay with speed. Right? It's like the first time you drive a car, right? And you start driving it a little bit faster and it feels a little weird, right? That's good But if it felt weird after driving the car for 20 years, that's not good, right? You get used to the speed. Speed is weird. Weird is speed. But when you speed up and you get used to speed, ooh, because I tell people, they'll say all this stuff and I think you're wrong and I got it all figured out, but I'm not getting any results. And I say, sure. How much adventure are you feeling? I say, what do you mean adventure? You are God having the adventure of a lifetime. So I disagree with you with that. And it's like, oh, good on you. So what kind of results are you getting, right? Anyway, let's continue.
Okay, excellent.
And that's a weird concept to explore at first, but you discover the truth about it when you play. Anyway.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So thank you, Andrew, for your question.
That was Andrew?
Yep.
All right.
Courage.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Have the courage to write.
Yep. Boom.
And the last question today is from KALININ on Facebook. Healing cracked tooth.
I think the spell check could have changed your name. So if your name is something else, I apologize.
Yeah. And KALININ asks, someone here healed a crack in his tooth. I need to do displacement because a crack does not close on its own because there is no blood flow in the tooth enamel. I am in insane anxiety. How can I believe that the crack will close?
So you don't have to believe the crack will close. You get to believe in you. Now, here's the cool thing, right? If you want a nice, lovely smile, you imagine having a nice, lovely smile. And maybe the tooth heals itself. Maybe it falls out. Maybe you grow a new tooth. Maybe you get a fake tooth. I don't know. I don't care. But here's the cool thing. You've got to believe in you. When I get a post and it says, has anybody ever, right? So PTSD is a relatively new invention, right? I got it back in 1989. I got my head kicked in, my elbows busted up, all that good stuff. And so PTSD is a relatively new invention. And so when I had PTSD, I realized one day PTSD is the imagination out of control. How do we control the imagination? Hey, let's play with the tools, right? Yeah, discover who and what we are, how this works, adventure, God, lifetime, all that good stuff. But that was weird. I mean, having PTSD is terrifyingly weird. Exploring the truth about you is just a little bit weird. But here's the cool thing. If I ask the question, see, this is back in the old days. There were Usenet groups, Yahoo groups. There was not a Facebook, so it was a lot slower to get information. If I asked, has anybody here cured themselves of PTSD using the methods of Neville Goddard? Rightio. I just had enough. Right? Yeah, I'd wake up and it's like, do we have take your gun to work day? Do we? Yeah. What's going on in the box? It wasn't all that pleasant.
Excuse me.
And so just like when I had enough, I had enough. Right? Sort of like that whole thing with writer's block. It's a recent luxury. Right? And one other thing I want to mention with this one here, you nailed the science. So like 20 years ago, when I was working with addicts, I discovered some really cool things. There are some professionals that know all the stuff about the brain chemistry, and they study all the stuff with the genetics and all that stuff, and all this bullshit. And here's the thing: when I was a kid, right, they were all talking about, we're going to study DNA, we're going to unravel the genome, we're going to do gene sequencing so we can get to everything, the cause of all of it, and cure everything by understanding the genome. And here's what's really cool now: we have this thing called epigenetics. Because we've discovered that the genes respond to the environment. The environment can turn genes on and off. Oh my God. So now what's the environment? Well, the environment includes how and what you experience imaginally. So the new science of epigenetics is saying, oh, it doesn't end with genetics. That's just a bumper sticker. It begins with you. So if we just keep going a tiny bit more, you get to discover one thing. You walk the dog. You lead. Science is always playing catch up with the mystic. And when someone comes at me with science, hey, 20, you can't cure PTSD, you can only treat it. They told me that. You know what I said? Watch. You know what they tell me nowadays? Oh, you never had PTSD. You don't have any of the markers. Right. I have no indication of having had PTSD. Or scoliosis, or half a dozen other things. Right? I walk the dog. So, I think that's good. In case you didn't know, Triple D starts in 7 days from the sound of my voice. don't wait. Go to dreamdrivenday.com and register. If you have questions, reach out, but don't wait. Because if you wait 9 days, you'll miss out again. And some people, they don't feel weird missing out. They just feel left out. Right? I don't like it when people feel left out. Anyway.
No.
So, Victoria.
Yes. So, what we want to know is first, Kalinin, thank you very much for your question. Tell us, what was your hashtag strawberry bit?
We got to show.
And now I've forgotten the first word. I do remember, though, it's with the weird. So I'm going to say celebrate the weird. That's my hashtag strawberry bit.
All right.
What was yours?
See, I get to hit my head on the bed tonight. See, did it work? Right. See, I
Bedheads,
imagine.
yes. You tried to get it out of my head.
My head hits the bed. My head hits the bed. See, and by the way, you notice I'm not making it about her. I'm making it about her. I'm making it about me, because when my head hits the bed tonight, and she just goes, I finally remembered it. I really remembered it. I remembered my exact strawberry bit.
Yeah.
It's all about me. It ain't about me manipulating her.
Hang on,
Coral is her. Boom.
What was, someone just said what it was.
You missed it again.
Oh, well.
Oh, well. What was my strawberry bit? I love how the weirdness showed up, because that really is, whenever you're exploring new terrain, weird's going to show up. What's it feel like to double your income and work half the time? How would you buy peanut butter? Oh, that's really weird, right?
Yeah.
It is. I mean, like, when I stopped imagining being shy, right, that was weird, right? I started having weird experiences. Like, I'd talk to pretty people and stuff. Yeah, it was weird at first. See, whenever you really start changing, when you go from child to adult, you get this thing called puberty. It feels a little weird, right? When puberty hits, you notice, like, I feel a little weird. I guess when you get a motorbic and wear pantyhose.
Motorbic?
Get me a motorbic and wear pantyhose.
Yep.
So, get okay with weird. Okay, get okay with stretching. A lot of people don't stretch.
Get okay with weird. That was it. I said celebrate it.
Yeah, that works.
That's
I like
even
celebrate
better.
it.
Yeah.
Celebrate.
Celibate. Anyway, so that was our hashtag strawberry bits. While you type in yours, go to freeneville.com.
221 email list pseudo.
Random goodness. Join our 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
You can join that anytime. It's a 90-day adventure for the people that, again, they want to guarantee. First 60 days, man. Let me just tell you, if you don't like it in the first 60 days, ask me. I'll give you your money back and make you get the fuck away. But if you actually do the course, you can't help it. It's $1 a day. It's like,
yeah, I know.
Unbelievable.
It's so cheap.
It is. I should double the price.
Too cheap.
Yeah.
But anyway. Did you want dreamdrivenday.com?
Dreamdrivenday.com. You got 7 days to sign up. We started in 7 days, right? Don't wait 8 days. I swear to God, every time we did the course, we had 3 this last time. Can I get in? No.
It started.
Sorry.
And you missed out on all the free goodie bits at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
Before it even starts.
That's right.
Yeah. And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
You know why? Because people can't believe that we actually have fun. So what do you want more of, really? People say, I want to make 25 grand a day.
25?
Yeah. So you want to make 25 grand a day. What would you do if you did that? I'd buy myself a car. Oh, aren't you the ball of fucking fun?
Right.
Anyway.
Okay.
All right.
So, excellent. Thanks so much for tuning in.
So you're getting ready for the wedding.
Have a great day night. We're getting ready for the wedding.
Getting ready for the wedding.
Yeah. Forest.
I wonder if they'll have mustard.
On them bickies.
On the biscuits. Yeah. Or some taters.
Yeah.
I like me some French fried taters. Look at that. Triple D, triple D. Everyone's yakking about
fun.
triple D.
The first DD goes down in something. Sorry, Jess, missed it.
Paula.
Hello, look, Paula. We're just finishing up. Thanks,
Nelson.
Chris. Okay, see you in a few days. Have a great day, night, weekend. We will, and we'll catch you next week.
Yep.
See us.
Oh, I forgot to tell them about the RACV guy.